Alrighty, and welcome back to Jack to the Future. This is the second of the commentary videos. And before we get too much further into this one, I know in the first commentary video I kind of bitched about what Jacksepticeye did with the game. It's you might get the impression I thought, oh, he owed me to play the game, or I was entitled to him playing the game or something. It's not that. When I made the game, I had no expectation that he would actually ever play the damn thing. I just wanted to make a game, and it was as good a, thing to do as any, I suppose. And I had what I thought were, I had some ideas. I thought some of them were pretty good. I started making the game, and it turned into what it turned into. And, I never thought he would actually play it. It's not necessarily thought that he wouldn't, but I had no expectation he would. I had no reason to think he would. And then he actually did start playing it. It was like, holy shit, he's actually playing what I made. My game is actually out there in front of people. And, and there's also the fact that I've got two computers. Both of them are old. I worry about them crashing and dying on me all the time because, they're basically everything that I do is with these computers. And, I was gonna, I didn't, I always multitask when I do stuff. I don't, some people seem to think that it's wrong to multitask and have more than one goal in mind when you set out to do something. I wanted to make a game. I ended up making a fan game, so I wanted to make something entertaining. I had all these different goals in mind. One of them happened to be hoping that Jack would actually play the game, and maybe that I could use that as a way to, sell some albums for the game soundtrack and make enough money to take care of getting a new computer so I could actually make better stuff, and maybe take care of some other things like fixing the damn car that's broken down. And so just when he actually started playing the game, there was a lot of holy shit, this is happening going on. And then of course he was going to that damn convention right when he decided to play it. He went in, obviously to me, he went in expecting it to be like the other fan games. It was completely different, so he never really gave it a chance, and then he just never played it after those 3 videos. So it was just a huge disappointment to me, all around. So it's not that I thought that because I made a fan game that he had to play it and he had to do it and all that stuff. It's not that at all. It's just, it was a huge disappointment to me in every aspect. Not only, to me, all the really good shit starts happening right around the time that he gave up on the game. He never investigated any of the environmental stuff, which is where a lot of the jokes and things are. It's like he never even figured out that it's a comedy game. And, it was just one of those things that, going into it, seeing that he was playing it and having all these, wanting to see him laugh and his reactions to all the stuff that I did, and everybody else's, it was the first time something that I had made was actually in front of a real audience. And then it just crashed and burned. So, I do blame myself for not putting more into it. But then I didn't have a test audience, so there was things that, that's why I started doing all the updates to try and improve the game, because I didn't know that anybody would want certain things or would have a problem with certain things, and I didn't look at different things certain ways that I probably should have. So, it was just an incredibly disappointing experience, and I am pissed off at Jack for just giving up on the game and abandoning it, or, forgetting about it. I guess, either way, it sucks. I guess for ego's sake, in a way, I kind of hope that he did just forget about it and just abandon it because he hated it or something. But it just, one of those things that it just didn't. It sucked all around, every aspect of it. After the videos, the videos going up was cool. It's kind of stressful for me having something of mine in front of that many people, but just when he never played it after the third video, it just sucked. So the garden hoe in the original, it was the garden slut. I thought about garden hoe later. There's, again, I like to work in layers a lot of the time. It's a nymph or a dryad who, in classic mythology, had a habit of luring men away and fucking them to death. Literally, fucking them to death. So that's the joke there. It's kind of a play. And also, just in RPG games, it always seems like the really tough enemies are ones that are supposed to look real badass. So just the idea of just this kind of pretty girl sitting in a garden just beating the shit out of somebody because she's a real tough enemy early in the game, I just thought that amused me too. The whole thing I thought was kind of funny. Let's see. What else can I talk about? I was going to talk about the music, I believe. All of the songs for the main maps are originals I made for this game. Like the Jack song here, then the PewDiePie song, the Markiplier song, and then it's the Marketeers Right Again is the one for the 4th area. And then the others are all original as well for all 9 of the main map areas. The battle songs, the songs for the bits of music, the songs for the battles were all things that I took from some of my old albums. Again, it was kind of a side thing. I was just hoping that I could get some fans or, sell some albums, once the game started taking off and getting some attention. Like I said, I didn't even know if Jack would ever play it, so that was just kind of a side thing, a hope that I had. But, I thought, why not? Like I said, it's multitasking. Don't have to do just one thing when you're making something. I accomplished all the goals that I set out to make, except for that one little hope that I could make enough money from selling music to take care of some stress issues. Worrying about the computers, the car. I sleep in a recliner. And, I haven't slept in a proper bed or even on a couch in years. That's kind of whiny, but you have hopes, and then they kind of get crushed, and it hurts. What can I say? I'm sorry I'm droning on about that. I'm trying to think of things that I can talk about in this area. There's not a whole lot left to talk about. I mean, like I said, this was the starter area, just the one that you start off in. So the main jokes here were some of the World War II stuff and the stunt jokes I added in later, and mainly it was just about introducing everything. All the Monty Python stuff, all the Bruces, the kind of the style of the combat, that it's a hack and slash game, so you're supposed to kill the enemies. Just like I said, this is just the starter area, so there wasn't really a whole lot to it. I mean, I guess that in hindsight, I probably should have filled it out a bit more. But, you know, that's why they say hindsight is 20/20. Right here, I'm just selling off stuff I don't need. I don't know, it's kind of weird in this. I sometimes seem to have really good drop luck. Other people don't seem to have as good a luck on getting weapon drops and stuff early on in this game. Kind of odd. I don't use any mods to the game or anything for my playthrough. Yeah, after, actually a lot of the stuff I added in came about because of watching Jack's playthrough, so I guess it was good for that. Like the sign right there. Jack managed to go right past this first boss, and I was like, no, hell, I didn't realize that was possible. So then I put the sign here. Cheating Bastard Prevention Program. Ultimate Bruce. Super Bruce's Ultimate Brucey. Although at this point, the other Bruces do jack shit to you. So yeah, I guess just watch the fight here, because I don't really have much else I can talk about this area, and I think I've covered all of my, disappointment with what happened with Jack playing the game. Over-covered it, really. If I recall correctly, pretty much finish up this fight, which now that this Ultimate Bruce is done, it goes really fast. And it's over, and then I believe from there we just go straight into the end of the next area, and then kind of rush through. This version of it, I've made it to where you can backtrack. I guess I did fight maybe three of these guys. It's Jeremy, and the theme of this area is a contrast, a juxtaposition of 90s music and musicals. So alt rock, grunge rock, all that stuff. Of course, Jeremy, Pearl Jam. That was a Fistful of Asha Corner Shop, I believe, was the first one. I didn't quite catch the music quote on this one. I forget what it was. Walks with a... I can't remember what song that's from. Sneakers and asks many questions like children often do. And that's the song. I can't remember the name of it. You might notice here that I don't heal all the damn time. That's because really you don't need to. Yeah. Kind of a little joke on the lyrics to that song. I can't remember the name of it. We have here this guy. This is from the movie The Happiest Millionaire. I think it was a movie. I'm not sure if it was a stage production before it became a movie or not. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Of course, Champagne Supernova, Oasis. You're supposed to talk to the girl first, and then the guy, and that triggers the quest there. And this is, I can't remember what this is from. It's Meatloaf did the version of the song that I am familiar with. This is Love Changes Everything. It's the song. And we have a fight here. And if I remember correctly... Nope, I escaped that one. I think at some point in here I actually get killed. This is Memory from Cats. And it actually did. It's an emotional song, especially if you know what it's like to just feel like you've just been abandoned or something. People are just discounting you and tossing you in the trash. And this is from Hair. And of course the background music here is Barrels, the PewDiePie song. And I believe this is where I go, okay, I'm gonna fight, and I got my ass killed. But I had already played through this once, and I think there was a mistake. Like this, I didn't have the sound turned on or something, so I replayed through. This was right there is where I made my mistake, because instead of healing, I just kept going, and I think old Iris here confuses me and then just, yeah, whips me. Yeah, because I hit myself, and that was that. Then I had to go ahead and reload, and I hadn't saved either, but I had saved in the previous one, so at this point I was going like, hell. At this point I just made a beeline straight to the end, because I didn't want to fight anybody else again this episode. It was just kind of going like, son of a bitch. And I added in a lot of this decoration and stuff later on. And here is Jack having a conversation with me inside the game. And here's the thing about puzzles. Puzzles? Why would there be puzzles? No one knew you were coming, and even if they did, it's a lot easier and cheaper to just hire more soldiers and mercenaries. Yes, I am. It's true. Lovecraft, Hunter Thompson. all that stuff. And if you don't understand why it's a meta joke, I think I explained it already, but it's me. I'm the one making the game, so everything that happens in the game happens because I made it happen, but then I'm also in the game as a character making everything happen too. The character that has Jack going off on his quest there. This is Jimmy Carr. You know the laugh if you've ever heard it. I don't know what it is about that one, it just makes me laugh. And we've got Gordon Ramsay here, of course. I toned that one down. I had him saying fuck like 20 times or something. A little more Ed Byrne there, and then Dara O'Brien. This is a play on his 3 levels of Irish legality. So that's grand. Don't push it. I'm taking the piss. And the music in the ends I put in is, you know, I like to do classical reworks. It's just for fun and learning. So I have a bunch of them sitting around, and of course that joke got exactly the reaction it's supposed to get, which is, did you really just go there? Because I think I said I was going to explain the little girl. It isn't the fucked up jokes that are supposed to be funny. It's that it's a little girl saying them. That's her, you know, it's just, there's something about a little kid saying things like that that's fucked up. Of course, that right there, that's a reference to Pirates of the Caribbean. And the little girl is not set to follow you around. I do not know why she did it there. It's kind of weird. But yeah, this bit. I don't know, maybe I just have a really odd sense of humor. The ramen mancer. Just the idea of somebody in a magical land and their role is to conjure up ramen noodles. Because they're a cook. And then we have, it's a rather long bit right here. It's the prophet, known as Delphi. And if you don't understand that reference, look it up. The prophet at Delphi. And honestly, this is all absolute nonsense. Although if you want to go looking for parallels between what this says in this game, and even other games, you can go ahead and do it, because sometimes I do mess around and try and link things to it, but for the most part it is utter nonsense. Just to mess with people. Or is it? Probably. Who knows? Maybe it all actually means something. I'm not going to tell you for certain, because that was the whole point in the first place. Sorry, what? Oh, I never remember anything I say. When I do a telling, and here we have PewDiePie. And Jack always does him as sounding like Cartman. So more or less, when I started doing the dialogue for Pewds there, Jack, I just did him as Cartman from South Park, because that's how he always sounds to me whenever Jack would do his impression of Felix. And we're coming up on the end of this recording here. The items in the stores, for the most part, I did not make up hardly anything. I changed names on some of the things, like the healing potions I changed into beers, and like the Jameson's 80 proof whiskey. I just thought it would be funny, you know. I actually like Guinness. I like Irish stuff because my family going back a ways is Irish, with some Scottish, Welsh, British, possibly French Canadian maybe in there, but my name's Murphy. The family name is Murphy, so go back a little ways and we're Irish. And I guess it's just something about that stuff that never really leaves you completely through the generations. It just kind of hangs around in the genetics or something, because I like Irish music, I like Irish beer, I like Irish whiskey. I also like Canadian whiskey, so I guess, you know, I like whiskey. I don't really care for scotch, though. I like whiskey. And LSD, of course. You know, it just... A lot of the times... a lot of times I mean for things to mean something, but then a lot of times I don't. Like the LSD, it was just something amusing. What drug would treat poison? LSD. Why not? And that is the end, so I'll see you on the next one. Bye, 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 bye.